Now, I mentioned that the Marlins General Manager, Kim Ng, that is her name, Kim Ng, and she is someone who she is from New York City. She grew up in New York, and she grew up a big baseball fan. She played baseball on the streets of Queens and really found a love and a passion for the game. And she ended up going to college at University of Chicago. She studied there, and then she got an internship, which turned into a gig with the baseball team out in Chicago. Not the lovable Cubbies, not them, but the White Sox. They gave Kim Ng an opportunity, and she was there in 1993 when the White Sox were in the American League Championship Series against Toronto, which they lost. But she was there at that time. She was with some great players there. Frank Thomas and Bo Jackson are two guys who were there at the time. All right? And then Kim Ng ended up moving to the Yankees. And Kim Ng, folks, her and I have something in common. All right? Was raised, she's from Queens. She's a Queens girl. I'm not from Queens. I'm from Harlem, all right? Harlem, stand up. I'm from Harlem. But we do have something, folks, in common. And this is what it is.
I was not a Mets fan.
Okay.
I was a Yankees fan.
Okay,
I grew up in the late 70s, so that was a great time, obviously, in that organization's history, so I grew up loving them. But, like I said, played stickball in the streets, and then started playing softball and played collegiately at the University of Chicago. So then, baseball, softball, tennis, those were my loves as a kid, and obviously I was lucky enough for my passion for baseball to carry on and help me get a job in baseball.
Mm-hmm. And Kim Ng was given her first front office opportunity in the early 90s with the Chicago White Sox after she graduated from the University of Chicago. She tells us how she ended up being hired by the Yankees general manager, Brian Cashman, and joining the Yankees front office in 1998.
I ended up there. I had worked 14 months in the American League office after the White Sox, and ended up working for Brian. He was looking for an assistant GM. He was, in his first year as general manager, and interviewed, got the job. In a lot of ways, just a dream come true. I mean, people use that phrase, and I use that phrase. When I was a kid, it really wasn't a dream because I didn't know that it could actually happen. Right. So, but I think if you could draw it up, it was a dream job come true to work for my childhood team. And it really was. It was fairy tale, storybook type of situation because that first year we won 114 games and we won the World Series, and I got to watch just, I call it the sum of the parts team, where we had no guy hit 30 home runs, but we scored over 950 runs. And when you think about that, when you actually look at those statistics, think about it in those terms, it's actually pretty incredible. And that sort of tells you, though, that it was a true team. And so it was a great time. I was there for 4 years. All four went to the World Series. 3 of them we won, and just a tremendous part of history in that franchise's years, and just a great time in my career.
Yeah. I think.
All right, folks. So, Kim Ng, all right, the general manager of the Miami Marlins, and she, right there, just talking about how she became a member of the Yankees front office years before she got the job in Miami to become their general manager. And she, of course, like I said, got the job from Derek Jeter, who became the CEO, owner, part owner of the Marlins, and Jeter was with the Yankees when Kim was assistant general manager. And think about that. That's something that's really amazing. I mean, and she says that she got with the Yankees in '98, and Brian Cashman, who that was his first year with the Yankees as well. He is still the general manager of the Yankees right now, and there are some Yankee fans who are upset because the Yankees have not been to a World Series in 14 years, and a lot of people, fans, want him fired, but he's had a lot of success. The team has had a lot of success with him, and Yankee ownership pretty much treat him like family, and he was the one who gave Kim Ng that assistant general manager position all the way in '98, and that's something that a lot of people do not even know about. That they don't know Kim Ng's story, and I don't know how many people, probably not very many, were aware that Kim Ng, this woman, was the assistant general manager of the Yankees while she was there, okay? Because that, I did not know of her until she was hired by the Marlins to become the general manager. And of course, it was a big story, the first woman general manager in professional sports. A lot of us had never heard of her, but of course, when you get to a position like that, you don't come out of nowhere, and you've been doing it for a long time. And she had, and Jeter gave her the opportunity, and now she has the Marlins just fought half a game out of a playoff spot, and I'm going to share more of my conversation with Kim Ng in the upcoming weeks, all right? And one thing that I do want to do also